وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه أدى الأمانة ونصح لهذه الأمة فتركنا على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك. Dear servants of Allah, I bear witness that there is no Lord, that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah, and that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam is his final messenger, and he is the same messenger who has left us on the open guided plain, the guided path that leads to salvation in this world and salvation in the next. Al-Mahajjat al-Bayda. Its day is as clear as the night. For the guidance of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is clear for all peoples, at all times, for all races and all places. And no one understands that the greatest words are the words of Allah. Words that cannot be duplicated, cannot be mimicked. Words that do not resemble the words of His creation. And the greatest of guidance, the greatest of all of the examples, is the example of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the worst of all the matters, the most dangerous of all matters, are the fabrications and alterations in the deen of Allah. These fabricated matters strand from opinions and cultures that have nothing to do with the Quran and the Sunnah. They're called bid'ah, and they're prevalent in our community and communities abroad. We have two authentic, pure sources to base our deen upon. That is the Quran and the Sunnah. Be very careful of anyone who gives you from their own opinion. Take knowledge from those who take knowledge from the Quran and the Sunnah upon the guidance of the Salaf al-Ummah, upon the rightly guided pious predecessors. In today's topic, I wanted to shed some light on a relevant aspect that affects all of us, locally and globally. And the general purpose of the Jum'ah khutbah, the Jum'ah address, is to speak about relative matters that affect the community at large. This is from the hikam, is that the khatib is to address the populace based on what they are experiencing, about what they are hearing, not about something that has absolutely nothing to do with their lives. This is called ilm al-waqi'. And the fact of the matter is that this does not only affect you and I here in Richmond, but it affects those in varying cities in the lower mainland, and then different countries globally. So this is a matter which is of high importance. والمصالح العامة مقدمة على المصالح الخاصة. And that which benefits the greater community takes precedent over that which benefits the singular. So today's subject matter affects the greater community, the local and the global. And that is the instability in today's economy. The fact that we are living at a time of high inflation. And all of you can attest to this. No one here is oblivious to this, regardless of how wealthy or how impoverished they are. We have all seen the direct effect of inflation. Now, what is inflation? It's a general increase in the cost of goods and the fall of the purchasing power of money. So meaning the cost of essential goods, just the general goods that you and I use day to day, the cost has risen. And the money that you have in your pocket is not buying the same amount of things that you used to buy. Now there are many different reasons for this. A lot of different reasons. But the main reasons, and I'm going to cite them very clearly for you, is that the prices of resources, day-to-day resources, essential resources have skyrocketed. And consumption has increased. And the cost of these resources has risen. And the prices have been pushed up. The aggregate demand, what you and I need, has gone up. And thus the prices are rising. And one more notable factor, when all of these events take place like a domino effect, the governments and entities, they print more money. More and more money. That does not mean that you get wealthier, no. It means you get poorer. When they print more money, that does not increase the value of money, it decreases the value of money. And this is the perfect storm. And we are right in the center of it. And I've seen at hand, like with my own two eyes, local families struggling to put food on the table. Local families having to sell their vehicles because they cannot afford the insurance nor the gas. Local families having to cut back from everyday expenses just to get by. Just the past Eid, we went to distribute Zakat al-Fitr locally, and you would be shocked and amazed how many families we saw that are barely getting by, barely putting food on the table for their children. This is locally. And maybe some of you are sitting here with us. I take this opportunity from this member of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to extend my hand to you, to open the doors. Do not be shy about it. We are here as a community to help. We are here as a community to ease the burden. This is our responsibility. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. We are brothers and sisters of one another. We will hold each other up. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Local families who didn't have enough food on the table. Here in Richmond, you don't need to go too far. This inflation, as I mentioned a few of the reasons cited, there's one untold reason, and that is mentioned in the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says it clearly in Surah Al-Rum, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. It has become apparent, the chaos and destruction, fasad. And fasad here is general. Something which has become in a state of turmoil, which was once running optimally, purely, has become destroyed. So Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says, it has become apparent, you can see it with the naked eye. The fasad, the destruction on earth, in the ocean. Brothers, put down your phones. If I see you on your phones, I will call you out directly. This is a Jumu'ah khutbah, you are in Salah. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر. It is apparent, the chaos and destruction and the instability on land and on ocean. Why? What caused it? بما كسبت أيدي الناس. But what the people's hands have earned and done. And I mentioned this ayah when we spoke about the destruction that has been caused in the natural cycle of life and how human beings have destroyed the earth through chaos and turmoil, in overproduction, in abuse of resources. So we are causing our own destruction with our own greed. بِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِي النَّاسِ, to profit. That greed has killed us and has caused destruction. And then he says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, لِيُذِيقَهُمْ بَعْضَ الَّذِي عَمِلُوا لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. Allah will allow His creation to taste a bit of the punishment in this world before the next, so that they may return to Him in tawbah. They may return to the true salvation, to the true solution, which is Islam. So that is the first step to the economic turmoil that we are in, the state of inflation, is to return to Allah. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean come to the masajid, quit your job, stay home and pray. No. Return to Allah, return to the understanding and the fundamental aspect that it is Allah alone who controls everything. And this is apparent in today's inflation. How many billionaires have lost their entire fortunes overnight? Just recently you've heard about it. The blockchains took a major tumble. People lost billions in an hour. Who controls the heavens and the earth? مَنْ بِيَدِهِ مَلَكُوتُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Allah. Allah وَحْدَهُ لَا شَرِيكَ لَهُ. It is undoubtedly Allah who holds the heavens and the earth. It is undoubtedly Allah alone who bestows and withholds wealth. It is undoubtedly Allah alone who is the King, Al-Ghani, وَنَحْنُ عِبَادُهُ الْفُقَرَاء. And we are the slaves, the impoverished slaves of Allah. But have no doubt that there are evil entities and organizations that are taking advantage of this time. يَسْتَغِلُّونَ الْفُرْصَةِ. They are taking advantage of this state to capitalize, to make a profit in a state of turmoil. And they want you. They're pushing you to the corner. They want you to take debt. They want you to accumulate debt. They want to burden you down with debt. Hold back. Credit is not wealth. Credit is a false notion. It's a false potential of wealth. If you have a credit card in your pocket, and if you spend or use that credit card, be sure that you can pay the full sum when that bill comes, not the minimum requirement. Because they want to burden you with debt, to make you more impoverished so that they get richer. And the Muslim, Muslimah, as Muslims we have to be wise, we have to be strong, physically, financially. Do not become burdened with debt. Because this is the design that they are after. The solution, another solution is that many of us have this notion, I gotta work harder. I gotta work longer. No. You have to work smarter, not harder. You have to demand a higher pay. And when you demand it, you have to earn it. Take your day. You work 8 to 9 hours. When you come home, take some time off. Spend it with your family. And then strategize a plan. You can have a side earning which is lawful and halal. You can be selling goods and services from your home. If you open your garage, you see inside, you think that's all trash. To someone else, that's all treasure. MashaAllah, I know some of the youth. They're making money out of nothing. Just selling simple goods and services. Because they work hard with good intentions. and they put their faith in Allah. That is halal secondary earning for you. So don't just sit there and mope and say, well, I just got to work longer hours. No. Work smart. And beware of the business dealings that offer nothing but instability. There are two aspects to avoid when doing anything with business. That is al-gharar wal-jahl. Any business opportunity you have, you should try to make it void, free of al-gharar, which is a gamble. A high risk. Wal-jahl, in the unknown business ventures. Would you buy something that you didn't see, you can't touch, you couldn't research? Would you buy a bird that's in the sky? Would you buy fish that's in the ocean? Would you buy a box not knowing what's within it? This is what people are doing nowadays. They are putting their hard-earned money into avenues without knowledge, avenues without merit. It is a big risk. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ. Ask the people of knowledge. And in this case, I'm not saying the imams. Ask the economists. Ask the people who know and research before you throw your money into any investment. I ask and I beg of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us strong economically, financially, to make us independent and only dependent upon Him. أقول ما تسمعون واستغفر الله لي ولكم من كل ذنب فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Dear brothers, move forward so your brothers in the back can sit.